Hi there, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. This is the first episode, and hopefully the last, of the Korn podcast. This is a completely temporary thing. This is not going to replace the usual weekly Korn and Kock podcast. I am simply doing this because Kock was... well, actually, it wasn't really his fault, but we were unable to record an episode of the podcast last week, and I don't want to leave you guys without some kind of something to hold you over until next week when we get back to our regularly scheduled programming. Reason... we couldn't record a podcast was first and foremost my mother. She accidentally cut her finger while handling a lawn power tool, one of those hedge trimmers, and I had to bring her to an urgent care center down the street in order to get her some stitches and a tetanus shot. Yeah. Also, I'm afraid I can't call upon Kock to record a podcast whenever, because he has moved temporarily about an hour and a half to 2 hours north from where we record. Totally understandable. He did it to be a little closer to his extended family. I wish I had extended family to visit, but he comes down on the weekends, so hopefully, if everything goes well, we will record our next full podcast Saturday. What is it? It's going to be Saturday the 30th of September 2017. And Stone, if you're watching this, this is completely temporary. I know I didn't clear this by you before I did this. Sorry that it's kind of a surprise. But if you ever want to do your own Kock segment, Kock podcast where you just talk by yourself, or maybe you have your own guest, I'm totally down. Just record it, send it to me, I'll edit it for you, and we'll put it up. Just let me know beforehand so I don't set up a regularly scheduled podcast beforehand. So, yeah, that's the end of the disclaimer, and I'm just gonna, this one's not gonna be too long, probably only a half an hour, 45 minutes, more of a bite-sized portion of what we usually do. I just got back from watching the second Kingsman movie, The Golden Circle, for the second time. I saw it earlier this week with my father and little brother, and I saw it just now with my friend Russell, who got us in for free because he works at that movie theater. So that was pretty cool. Watching it again, I'm not going to spoil it, so don't worry. But watching it again, like the first time I watched it through, I don't know, there was something that I felt was missing from it. It felt kind of rushed near the end. I don't know. But I saw it again, and I noticed a lot of things. This is kind of standard fare when you see a movie for the second time. You notice a lot of things that you didn't notice the first time around. Themes, songs, things that kind of like tie into maybe the twist at the end, or stuff like that. I'm not saying there's a twist at the end. I'm just saying, like, in terms of seeing a movie twice, sometimes there's a twist you didn't see the first time, and then you watch the movie again, and characters hint towards it, and you pick up on it, and you're like, holy shit, they were telling me the entire time, and I had no idea. Yeah. Other than that, though, I'm in a bit of a slump. I haven't drawn or done anything like that in the past couple of days, which I told myself I was going to draw at least a little something every day, which haven't done. I should kick myself in the high gear, honestly. But I don't know, man. Uh, don't do drugs when you're upset. Like, I know that that's why people do drugs. They do it to numb the pain, and or the drink, or whatever, what have you, to feel better in times of anguish and sadness. But I can't stand that shit. I can't, like, I don't know. Unless I'm with a bunch of friends, which that hasn't happened in a long time. Unless I'm with a bunch of friends getting high, it's not fun. I just do it and then I just get upset, because the mindset I go in when smoking is, I'm gonna feel better after I do this, which is not the case at all. It's not like some kind of happy, like marijuana is not some kind of just happy drug that makes everything better and you forget everything. No, you can still remember all the bad shit that happens to you. It just hits you 12 times harder. So just like how happy things can make you 12 times happier when you're high, things can make you 12 times more upset. And more often than not, that's what ends up happening. I start off fine, and then my mind goes to a bad place because, for one reason or another, I see something that reminds me of an ex-girlfriend or a mistake that I made in my past, and it destroys me. It just completely ruins everything. And then I think my mind railroads down this path of just like really bad thoughts, and at that point I just go brush my teeth and go to bed. And that's another thing. Whenever I get high, I never remember my dreams, and that's one of my favorite things, honestly, to like recall the dreams I have, because I have very vivid and weird dreams most of the time. I really like remembering them and documenting them, which I do sometimes, but I never remember them. And I know I had dreams. It's just they elude me as soon as I wake up. As soon as I wake up, the memory is gone, and it's not fun. It's not fun. Don't do drugs. Don't be like me. Don't be a fucking idiot. I don't know. Do what you want. I'm not your mom. But the thing about drugs is that some people do, and some people don't even do them because they want to. They do it because they want to be cool. They want to, impress someone else. And the fact that I still do it, even though I've said 100 times that I just flat out stop, is I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that one of my ex-girlfriends is dating a guy currently that does nothing but smoke pot and do drugs. And maybe my mind figures that if I smoke and do that persistently, then I'll become more attractive to not necessarily her, because she's basically out of my life. Some people might know the story. For those of you who don't know, I was in contact with that specific ex for a while after she broke up with me. I don't know, I sent her pictures of my art, try and share. She was an artist too. She showed me things that she wanted to turn into tattoos. Send her a meme every once in a while, some, really stupid Facebook shit. Nothing, like, seriously, just harmless stuff. And, like, I know I shouldn't have been doing it in the first place, but when you have no one else, and I feel foolish in saying that, because I do have other people. I have my friends, I have my family, but, like, romantically, you mean, and even though there's nothing romantic going on between us, literally nothing, just feels like there's something missing. Anyways, so I sent her a piece of art one day early in the morning because I was awake and I wasn't tired, and she was online, so I said, yeah, why not? And I sent it to her. And about 15 minutes later, I get a message request on Facebook from some guy who I'd never talked to before. And I realized immediately who it was once I saw the name. It was her current boyfriend, and he comes out guns a-blazing, you know. You bet you have no right to talk to my girl. I'm gonna fucking kick your fucking ass, man. If you ever message her one more time, I swear to God, I'll come to your house and I'll fucking murk you. I put people in the hospital before. And then don't you even think about fucking being a smartass, because I will come right down there and I will fight for blood, motherfucker. And I mean, he said a few funny things, actually. I thought the funniest thing he said was, he's like, I don't fight fair, I fight for blood, bitch. Fuck off. And just, I said it back to myself, like, later on. And I was just like, is he like a fucking James Bond villain? He's just throwing out one-liners like it's nobody's business. Also, he was like, if you do anything, I will come to your house and beat the fuck out of you. I promise you this. Those were his exact words. He said, I promise you this. And all I could think was, what are you, the fucking Oracle from the Matrix? What, this is, you decree this will happen. You can see into the future. I promise you this. I don't know, I just thought it was stupid. But at the time, it kind of freaked me out. I was like, oh shit, that's right. She knows where I live. She could tell him, and they could probably be there in like a second. So I stayed up all morning. I didn't sleep until at least 11 in the morning. I made myself coffee to keep myself awake, listen to music. And like finally I just like broke down. I just messaged all my friends, my closest friends, and I was like, dude, please stay online because shit might happen. And they were all like, what happened? And I explained, and they were like, this guy ain't gonna do shit. And yeah. And after that point, I just blocked her. I haven't talked to her since. I haven't wanted to. But you know, still miss her. I mean, relationship's a relationship. A bond with somebody is a bond. No matter when it was, no matter who it was with, no matter what the circumstances, a bond is a bond. And I think a lot of people completely disregard that. They're like, it was a high school relationship. Which, to some degree, I suppose that's true. I mean, we're still kids. We were still kids. You don't know how the world works. But, you know, I still cared about her. And I'm sure she cared about me and up until a certain point. So, I don't think it was fake. But, yeah, I don't know, man. So, I don't understand why I'd want to be trying to impress her when she has no way of knowing, and frankly, even if she did know, she wouldn't care. But yeah, I don't know. I've been in a slump for a while. Hoping I get a job soon. Maybe meet a few new people. Maybe, cause here's the thing. I want to go to school, but my parents they sat me down. And they were like, if you're just going to go to university to get some liberal arts degree, there's no fucking point. Seriously, you'd be just wasting thousands and thousands of dollars on a degree that you could maybe do something with, but like, you should go to a school that specializes in what you like to do. And I really like drawing, and I mean, hopefully I could get into some sort of animation or, maybe computer development, maybe help learn how to make games and such. Because I don't know anything about making games. I'm a fucking, I know absolutely nothing. Which is really funny considering I want to make a Mega Man fan game. And, many other one. I've had ideas for tons of games, But I was never able to articulate on that because I never learned coding. I never learned any of that stuff, and I'm sure I could learn now, but personally, right now I just don't have the self-discipline to self-educate myself, which is pretty pathetic considering like this is the thing that I want to spend the rest of my life doing. But I don't know, man. I'm a mixed bag of crazy. But I'll be okay. I'll be okay. Everybody's gonna be okay. Shit, this got really depressing. I'm sorry if I bummed anybody out. That's not really my intention. But I'm just explaining because I probably sound, under the weather. And I don't know, man. Mario Odyssey comes out at the end of next month, October. I'm pretty happy about that. I don't know about you guys. I'm pretty excited for Mario Odyssey. The game looks amazing. And this is coming from the guy that thinks that Mario Sunshine is... Well, it's not, I know it's not the best Mario game, but it's one of my favorites because I grew up with it. My first game console was a GameCube. And my first two games were Pikmin 2 and Super Mario Sunshine. And I played the shit out of those fucking games. I love them to death. They're still some of my favorite games. And I just love the Mario Sunshine formula. And like Mario 64 formula where there's like a hub world and then you go to different worlds and you do things within that world as like missions rather than linear stages you have to go through in order to get to a goal. And Mario Odyssey seems to be a little bit more linear than Mario Sunshine and Mario 64 in the fact that when you enter a world, you can go for the mission objective, but then once you get it, you don't get kicked back out of the world. They just tell you to go to the next thing. Which is cool. We don't know everything about the game, which is awesome. I love keeping myself... I like keeping some secrets. I don't like spoiling everything, but yeah, I never really understood that, how people can get so upset for you spoiling things. It's like, well, I can understand a few things, but I just me personally, I've never really had that problem of like someone come up to me like, hey, this happens in this, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm still gonna go see it. I just won't be surprised when that thing in that movie or video game happens. And some people just get really pissed off and they're like, dude, you fucking ruined it. Now I can't enjoy it. And it's like, true, you won't be able to enjoy it in the same way, but no one's stopping you from going out to just go enjoy it. Like, go experience it, Yeah. I want to get my... I want to say graphic novel, but that shit ain't gonna happen for a while, so... I'll say webcomic for right now, because maybe it can start off as a webcomic and it'll gain traction, and, like, that's best case scenario. I know I'm talking like a wide-eyed kid that doesn't know the world sucks. But, maybe I could, I need to write a script for the first part of the Glass Heart. And for anyone watching who doesn't know what the Glass Heart is, the Glass Heart is the name of the story that I want to write/illustrate. And I'm currently trying to make the characters interesting and not super generic and boring, both in personality and in the way they look, which is probably going to be the biggest hurdle for me, considering every character I've drawn so far, someone has drawn a parallel to some generic Tumblr character, which, I mean, I kind of see it, and it still kind of stings, Like, I'm not one to refute criticism. Like, it's fair criticism. They're totally right. But doesn't mean it doesn't hurt, I'm not calling anybody out by saying that. And not at all, because I totally appreciate the criticism. It's just like, at the end of the day, you just look back and you're like, I guess it wasn't as good as I thought it was, And that's the whole thing. You have to, you can't just continuously say this is the best thing ever and just continuously pat yourself on the back forever and just without a doubt in your mind. You have to doubt yourself sometimes in order to, refine yourself, because if you never give yourself any discipline or any of that stuff, then you're never going to improve. You're never going to get better. And no one likes mediocrity. No one's content living in mediocrity unless they're fucked in the head and they've got some kind of fucking complex where they think they're the greatest person ever when really they're just fucking idiots. And that's a whole other story. I've been told I'm a very interesting storyteller from what I've been told. I honestly never saw it. Like, every time I tell a story on Triple Backflip, which is our gaming channel, if you have no idea, link is in the description. There's like a whole bunch of... I never ever divulge into that. I haven't in the previous podcasts, but in the description there's a bunch of links to a bunch of different things. The first one is a link to my commissions. I do drawing commissions. All the information you need is going to be in that link down below. There's pricing information, what I will and will not draw, stuff like that. And then there's a form that you can fill out, and you can send me either your email or your Discord ID. 'Cause I don't do Skype. I don't really do any other kind of messaging things. And if you want to send me a message, then just send me your username, and I'll hit you up. And under that, we have the link to Golden Shades and to Cosmic Gem, who Golden Shades animated our intro, as I'm sure a lot of you know, and Cosmic Gem composed the intro song, to which I'm very grateful, and because they're very talented guys. I probably could have asked Golden Shades to do the intro, since he's also a composer, but I didn't wanna overburden him. But the way it came out, it was great. And the intro song, like Cosmic Gem, when he composed it, he didn't even know what the intro was. I just told him, make a 6-second intro, and he was like, okay. And then he did it, and it fit it perfectly. It actually worked perfectly. So, things just work out in the end. If you got a talent for music, or a talent for anything really, you'll get it like that. It'll be almost like clairvoyance. It's crazy. Yeah. I don't know, man. Growing up sucks. Like, I know Stone's not gone. I know he's just like an hour away or a message away, but he used to come over like every night and hang out. And I know it's time for a change, because it's time for a change in my life too. And I'm glad he finally took the initiative to do something about it. And it's great for him. And I don't know. I'm one of those people that still can't get over the fact high school is over. And by that I mean just everybody stops talking to each other. Everybody just, quits like communications. They start their own lives. They talk once in a while, maybe get together for a birthday party once a year. But I just hate that, because to me, my personal values, I realized this during my last year of high school, and I still stand to this day. To me, I mean, besides, family, friendship is what matters the most. The bonds you create with other people, the relationships you form and you uphold. Money and just get that shit out of my face. As long as I'm happy with my friends and we're all sitting together and we're all having a good time, I could give a fuck about anything else in the entire world. Obviously, except my family, and I'm not to say like fuck everybody else or fuck everything else. You know what I mean. But yeah, and it's just sad, man. They're all leaving. They're all here, but they're all leaving. They're all doing their own thing, and I'm still stuck in the past, just hoping it'll go back to the way it was, which I can't do. You can't function like that while everyone's moving forward and you're moving backwards. I don't know, man. We used to hang out every night. Every night at 3 a.m. we'd drive down to Dutch Bros and yell at this strip club that's like halfway there. Well, actually, no, not halfway there. Like a few blocks away from the place. And we'd always yell the stupidest shit. And I mean, we still do whenever we go down there, but that's like once a week. That's another thing. I'd go myself, but I don't have the gas or the money to pay for the drinks, so that's why I'm hoping I get a job. Yeah. And the worst part is that I feel kind of selfish, honestly, for thinking this way. Like, come on, you guys, we can all still hang out and be friends and stuff, even though you have your own lives and you need to worry about yourselves. I feel so selfish, like, thinking like that, because they all, it's true, they all have their own lives, they all have their own shit they gotta worry about, and I'm sitting here like, oh, come on, it's no big deal, let's just hang out. Like we're fucking teenagers, and that doesn't fly. That's no excuse, really. And although I say that it's no excuse, I will continue to be sad about it. That's the worst part about me. Like, even though I'll know something is wrong, and I'll just try not to think about it, like I still let it get to me. Which, everybody has their flaws, and that's mine. And maybe one day I'll overcome it. Like, I'm a person that thrives on companionship, you know? And, like, without sounding too fucking weird, I wish I had a girlfriend again. Or, just someone like that who's invested in you and, who isn't your family, because of course your family loves you, and I love my family to death. And I'm glad that they care about me, and, but they're your family. I'm talking about someone else from the outside who doesn't really know you and wants to get to know you and, cares about you, meets you, and then realizes through experience that they have with you that they care about you and like you and want to, be a part of your life. And, I ain't gonna do that sitting in my room making dumb podcasts or drawing a graphic novel. But, guy can hope, right? I want anybody who's listening to this right now to listen to me. Life's too short. You can't sit idly by waiting for change to happen. You need to go out, and I'm sure this doesn't apply to everybody, but you need to go out and make your destiny. You need to go out and make what you want to happen a reality. And life's too short to sit around and mope about it and cry and lose sleep. It's too short for that. Next time you're in a situation where you're nervous or you're scared, you're thinking, "Oh, I don't know what'll happen." And I'm not saying like go out and fucking shoot somebody, you know, it's like, oh, I'm nervous about it, and I'm telling you to go do it now. That's not what I mean. I mean, like, asking out a girl, or going in for a job interview, or, you know, just something like that. Just next time something like that comes up, just do it. Just for the love of God, do yourself a favor, and just do it. Don't worry about what ifs. Don't worry about the butterflies in your stomach. Because that's not the worst thing that can happen. The worst thing is thinking back on it later on and wondering what could have happened. And thinking, why didn't I just do it? Why didn't I just take a deep breath and just do it? Regret is the most painful, honestly, the most painful thing in life. Regret. Just regretting not asking that girl out. Regretting not making amends with a family member you got into a big argument with before they died. Stuff like that. Life's too short for dancing around maybes. You just gotta go for it. You just gotta live your life and take that shot, because if you don't, you might not have a chance to do it again. And for the rest of your life, that's going to be a scar on your conscience, knowing that you had the chance to do that, but you didn't. So go do it. I don't know what it is. I sound like fucking Shia LaBeouf now. Seriously. But he's right. Memes aside, he's fucking right. Go fucking make your dreams come true. Don't wait for them to come to you. You go out and find them. Do something that you... I'm stuttering my own words because I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, but go out and go do something. Go do the thing you need to do today, so you don't regret it. So you don't regret not doing it later on. That's what I'm trying to get at. And yeah. Jeez, look at the time. I wasn't even paying attention this entire time. I've been reclining, not looking at the timer. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this little mini episode. I apologize if it got a little too deep for anybody watching, but rest assured, this will not be a regular thing. We will return to our regularly scheduled podcast the week after this is posted. Unless, you know, my mom has any other accidents, but I'm sure she'll be fine. Love you, Mom, if you're watching. And I love all of you guys. Thank you for being subscribed. Thank you for watching. If you liked this mini podcast, please check out the other podcasts. They're way more entertaining than this. Yeah. And Stone, thank you for bearing with me for this one. And I'll see you next week when you come down for the next podcast. And I will see all of you viewers. I will see all you viewers next week when the next podcast goes up. So thank you for listening to my inane ramblings, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Well, actually, thank you for listening. You don't watch a podcast. Unless it's our podcast, where I put a little, you know, some jingle jangles, visual stuff in there every once in a while. But this one won't be too visually intensive, so... If you were just listening to this and you thought, oh, maybe he included some fucking giant dildo on the screen at some point, I didn't. So don't worry yourself about that. All right, well, have a good day, good night, good whatever. Biggest shout out to all you guys. we'll see you next week.
Bye.